Hey, shit for brains.
I liked the idea of telling a story in present day, but that doesn't necessarily look like it's in present day.
I wanted a touch of fairy tale. It's set in a realistic world, but this modern Western fairy tale.
It's a story of love and pursuit of love, pursuing dreams. It touches on social issues that we have today in America.
There's comedy, it's kind of sexy, but also kind of dirty. It's just so many things all wrapped into one.
It's an old school movie, but with some fresh twists on it.
The first time I read it, I sat down and cover to cover, 60 minutes done, which to me is a surefire sign that the script is a movie, not just a script. Tony is just the most brilliant writer. He simultaneously can write character-driven, but really intricate and well-structured plots. You're on a ride, but you're also sort of deeply feeling for this huge ensemble of characters.
There's a little bit of autobiography in there. I grew up in a trailer, kind of like Cal's trailer. I had a mom, a little bit like Cal's mom. I was kind of a weird loner kid, watched a lot of Westerns, and I just kind of started populating this world with other characters. What I wanted to do here was to take a social awareness that we have now to comment upon the Western and to reorient a little bit who's centered in it, how it functions, not take some things too lightly while still having fun.
I like the crossed out on the name on the index cards.
Oh, yeah. The cast and the performances as these characters. I think that's the best thing about the movie.
It was sort of a compilation of people that we had seen and remembered and agreed on wanting to put in the movie.
My main jobs are to write pretty good scenes for them and then focus on the performance over everything else. I welcome the cast members to come with their own interpretations of it.
I'm just a waitress. I don't really know you.
Sydney Sweeney plays Penny Jo Poplin. Penny Jo is kind of shy, reserved.
I started working with a vocal coach who actually personally has a stutter 2 times a week for a good 2 months, and then I was working with my singing coach as well.
I didn't know you were a singer.
I'm a hidden gem.
Sydney's one of my best friends in real life. She was so awesome and gracious to me. I asked her a lot of questions about acting since this was my first movie, and she answered all of them.
You're real sweet. Thank you.
I was really attracted to, one, Tony's writing. He's an incredible writer. And Penny Jo herself. She has so many big dreams and things that she wants to do. I really felt for her, and I loved her journey that she went on.
Speed. Hey, only Mark?
I know my life isn't exciting. I know I'm not too exciting either.
Paul Walter Hauser plays Lefty Ledbetter. He has this sweetness and a lot of love to give.
People should be happy. I think I can make you happy.
He's, like most people, probably a victim of social awkwardness, of maybe not fitting in the era he was born, and is destined to become this kind of sweet old man who's alone.
I think on the page, Lefty is a little bit more of a joke, and Paul really brought more humanity, a real warmth.
I got everything I need, really. Good food, good beer, good company, you know.
I love working with Paul. He is such an incredible actor. When you're in a scene with him, everything else just disappears around you.
There was one day where Paul kind of pulled me aside and he was like, everyone is saying what a good job you're doing. I feel like people need to hear the good stuff people say about them when they're not around. And it just totally made my day and made me feel so much more confident.
Let's all get out of here this time. Okay?
Halsey brought a lot more vulnerability to the character of Mandy and real pain that the camera picks up on.
Her agent called me and said, what do you think of Halsey for Mandy as someone who really likes casting unexpected people? I thought it was a really inspired idea.
I did it! I fucking did it! Mandy is a really complex character. She grew up in a place that had very little hope for someone like her. She's a projection of the music, the artists that she fell in love with that kind of symbolized freedom and represented hope for her. We ended up shooting the movie after I'd given birth, which meant that I found the part as a person without a child and then acted the part as a person with a new son. It's very full circle.
Fucking hell.
Dylan is the South Dakota small-town criminal, probably thinks he's smarter than he actually is.
If you look a little deeper, he's not so much of a bad guy. I mean, he's a murderous scoundrel. But he has some good qualities. I think he's a victim of circumstance and just desperate.
He is hired by Simon Rex's character, Roy Lee Dean.
You're gonna need to present me with a nice, juicy number right about fucking now.
Simon brought a sketchy charisma and humor to the character.
Roy fancies himself a modern-day cowboy, but really, he's not a cowboy. He's more of a city slicker who is in this Western world. He's more of a businessman and a hustler.
That Colonial's black market artifact stealing motherfucker.
Zon McClarnon plays Ghost Eye.
Is that your spirit name?
He's a leader of the People's Army, influenced by the American Indian movement and the Black Panthers from the early 70s.
It was a pleasure to see that Tony wrote about some of those heroes that I had.
That was written just for him. There's a scene towards the end where Zon and Cal have an exchange and there's no dialogue. And I'm really glad there isn't, because there's so much in Zon's performance without any words. Gavin Maddox Bergman plays Cal.
I am the reincarnation of Sitting Bull, the great Lakota war chief.
He doesn't really know who he is. He's developed this coping mechanism to survive his unhappy home life.
My home is here, in the Great Spirit. Cal is a very lonely kid, and he keeps to himself most of the time. He grew up watching Western movies, which basically raised him into the kid he is now. And he's inspired by the Native Americans in those movies and their underdog story.
It wasn't until he got on set that I realized he brought so much vulnerability and emotional lostness to the scenes when Cal had this other side that again deepened that character.
I know I fucked everything up, but I'm still your mother, okay?
My mother died many, many years ago.
Gavin is just a star. One day we were shooting a pretty intense scene where I had to yell at him. As a mom, it's tough to yell at this adorable, sweet little boy. So in between takes, we would walk around and collect rocks. So I have a huge collection of shiny, glittery rocks that Gavin and I collected on set together.
Now bring the second team up to front here.
When Nigel Bluck, our cinematographer, came aboard the project, I told him that I wanted it to feel almost like a lost movie from the 1970s that just happened to be filmed in the present day. I didn't want the sterile, too clean feeling of a big studio movie. I wanted it to feel like life goes on in this place. Taking these actual places where people are living, real gas stations where they're working, and just putting in little splashes of color.
Working with Tony Tost is a dream. He has everything so precise, and he is so in love with these characters, and he's lived with them for so long.
Tony, he is deeply collaborative. He spent chunks of time with all of the actors talking through their characters and collaborated on costumes and hair and makeup.
Most of our characters are trying to escape undesirable circumstances. A lot of their looks are inspired by pop culture idols.
Sydney was very involved in what Penny Joe was wearing, and the same with Halsey for Mandy.
Tony really wanted her to sort of emulate Joan Jett, an early female punk rock artist.
We had a lot of fun to sort of make her style as much as an FU to the world and her father's upbringing.
Fuck you. Shoot me.
Here we go! 3, 2, 1!
One of the biggest challenges for me as a first-time director was staging a big action set piece. We had a very definite storyboarded plan for the shootouts because we only had so much time.
We're using airsoft weapons exclusively on this show so we can get realism with a slide action. Halsey, she had no experience with weapons, and so she wanted me to show her how to hold the weapon. We kind of held it lower than what a professional shooter would hold, and so she emulated that really well.
We use practical squibs instead of it being done digitally. There's just something texturally that's satisfying to me to see those on screen. The most challenging stunt, I think, is when Roy Lee Dean, Simon Rex character, is hit by a car. We did just 2 takes, and having a chain to the car, make sure it pulls that it's going to stop at an exact spot, and then the stuntman takes the hit.
Wild West, baby.
At the core, the movie really is about people and connections, whether it's Lefty and Penny Joe and what they do for each other, or what Mandy and Cal mean to each other and what their reunion at the end of the film means.
My baby boy.
Westerns are part of the DNA of Hollywood and cinema. Some of the greatest cinematic efforts were from the Western world, and they've been lost lately. So it's nice to be a part of something that hopefully rekindles some of the magic of the past.
I just wanted to tell a popcorn story full of characters that I've known in my life as a small town trailer park type of guy, and really excited that I actually got to do that with a pretty spectacular cast.